Matteo Lane is on our show, and we're so glad. He will make you laugh and not be sad. Matteo Lane.
Matteo Lane.
Mateo's performing this Thursday through Sunday at the Carlson in Rochester, New York, March 22nd and 23rd at Lincoln Lodge in Chicago. Go to MatteoLaneComedy.com for tickets and all of Mateo's dates. And follow Matteo on Instagram and Twitter at Matteo Lane.
And also, Matteo, congratulations. We saw the thing that Comedy Central's giving you a pilot.
Well, we're just in script development. I'm shocked they made the announcement because we haven't been no one said here's a pilot, but everyone's like, congrats. And I'm like, thank you.
Well, you got checked for it though, right?
Oh, yes, of course.
Then always congrats.
Yeah. No, it's exciting. It's cool.
Yeah.
They're really happy with it. And it's basically a show about me being a gay spy.
Is this your idea, or is it created by Matteo Lane?
Yeah, I'm co-creator. I wrote it with my friend Jared Lapidus, who's a great director and a writer.
Great.
And we were a couple years ago, we were thinking about a show for me, and he was reverse engineering. I was like, okay, will you sing and speak other languages and draw? What could we do with that? And he was reading a spy novel at the time, and he's like, you'd make a great spy. I mean, it's going to be like Nathan Lane in the Birdcage as a spy, to give you any kind of context. But it should be fun. Just me panicking and singing.
Are you still doing stuff with Emma? Or do you guys still get together?
Yeah, we have our podcast Inside the Closet. We just did an episode yesterday. Although we're both on the road all the time, so we're always doing it over Skype.
Right, Skype.
Kind of sucks to do it over Skype because it's better when you're in person. It's easier.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's very, very difficult, I think, to connect with anybody when you're not together. But she's still with her girlfriend. Are you still with your?
No,
no, that's over. The Spanish guy.
Yeah, but ended. We didn't talk for a little bit, and then now we're in a good place. So we're chatting.
Oh, good.
Things are good.
Yeah.
Well,
you're joining the world of Earl and Vito, just incels. They're both incels.
Incels? What does that mean?
It's the fact that
involuntarily celibate.
Now, these are the guys that run in and end up shooting up a fucking mall or whatever.
Shooting having sex.
Shooting up a beauty pageant.
Yeah.
Something that makes them mad.
Yeah. It makes gays mad. I spent 7 hours on that hair and this son of a bitch didn't get fucked and now he's ruining my day.
Well, it's not overly hard for gays to get laid. Am I right about
No,
that?
it's not hard at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're picky, then maybe it's harder, but it's
that's always a mistake in life, to be picky. I don't believe in it.
I don't know. I think if you were picking a life partner, you should be picky. No? You're not ordering a meal and you're I don't like lettuce.
I think it just happens when you get a life partner. I don't think it's as conscious as we think. I think it's an unconscious decision.
Which is weird because it feels like everything's it's going to happen. And then you're just, oh my God, coffee. Thank you. I just lost my voice last week, and so it's back, and I gotta chill it out.
Send Vito back in, because I want to see...
Vito, abbiamo una domanda per te.
Here he comes. Hold on.
By the way, last time I was here...
Your pants look much looser. I know you say that you're not losing weight. Your pants are falling off you.
Did you stop your M&M diet?
Yeah.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
I've calmed down on the M&Ms. Yeah, I'm down 3 pant sizes.
Really?
Yeah, I'm at a 40. I was at a 44. I don't weigh myself because it's.
Want us to weigh you?
No,
but you were telling us today you don't think you're losing weight from it, and I just saw those pants hanging off you.
Yeah, no, it's going pretty well.
What are you doing to lose weight?
I've been working out every morning.
Nice.
Biking.
Nice.
Biking. And just eating healthy.
Have you cut soda out of your diet?
Yeah, I only drink water.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You look great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And you stopped drinking.
Yeah, I stopped drinking 8 or 9 weeks ago.
Now, Chris, have you?
Well, look, Ron, I've got
why are
two
you drinking
pant sizes.
right now?
What's wrong with that?
It's so early, and you're not even putting it in a glass.
It's 4:10 p.m. That sounds like right around the time you start drinking.
Oh my God!
Look at the tiny sips he takes.
Mamma mia!
Hey, that's a lot of whiskey there, Chris. He tried to show off in front of you.
That if I drank that, I would be drunk. Oh my God! You're drinking.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it, but I
Thank
just
you.
I
Sounds like
can't.
you're judging me though.
A little
What do you
bit.
think? It's some bad news?
I don't know. I just feel like it's a Tuesday. Is that the correct day?
Oh boy, here we go.
I want to become famous enough so I can do one of those episodes with you where you sit down and have a long chat. What's it called?
It's the name is changing all the time, but it's called Unmasked.
Unmasked. That's
Yeah.
it. Because I loved your Joan Rivers one.
Well, the Joan Rivers one was great. I just did one with Larry Charles not too long ago.
Work.
But yeah, so I want to do it with you, obviously. The right amount of time, boom, that you're ready to explode. Because everyone knows you're going to be a big major star.
we'll
Everybody
see.
knows it.
Please.
It's a done deal.
Tell my bank account that.
The only thing that's keeping you held back is your synesthesia.
It's the fact that I see
yeah.
color with numbers and letters and music.
Now, do you see? Because I've been obsessed with synesthesia for years because
really?
Fez has it.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, do you see us as numbers or colors or?
No, everything looks normal. But like
Right.
if I look at the word Bennington that's up on the wall.
Yeah.
So what I see, so I'll just go through each letter. The B is like a dark brown. E is green. Like the N and the N are both purple. The I is white. The N is purple. The G is almost black, but like brown. The T is black. I mean, I guess you could say dark blue, but it's black. And then the O is white, and then the N is purple. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Sirius XM is like purple, white, white, purple, like dark black, and then like a mix of red and purple. M is more red than it is purple, but it definitely looks purple next to some colors.
Now, how did you find out that other people aren't this way?
Because I remember being in third grade going through division, and it confused the fuck out of me because where all the numbers went, like all the colors started getting weird. Like it was really baffling. Like the environment that the numbers sit on was starting to, like, it was very contrasty. But I remember being 18 at college. I was listening to music in painting class, and I was like, you guys, I was at lunch with friends. I was like, you guys know when you listen to music, like you see color? And literally thinking it was so normal.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, what? And then my friend Ernest Kim goes, I hope Ernest is doing well. He goes, oh, that's synesthesia. I goes, what the fuck is that? He's like, yeah, certain people have it. You like see color with music and letters and stuff. I was like, yeah, all my letters and numbers have color. And I'm like, no one else has this? And I was like, no. And I met one other person who has it, and he and I have a lot in common. Both
common things outside of the synesthesia.
Yeah, we're both musically inclined. We both we're both artists, but we both approach drawing and art the same way, which as artists is very rare. Everyone has their own way of approaching art or drawing or what their interests are. Similar sense of humor, similar way of digesting things, and we would sit down and listen to music and go through what colors we saw and argue over what numbers or what colors we saw with numbers. There's also like synesthesia bleeds into other places that you wouldn't expect it to. Like when I think of parts of the body, I think of it as dark and light in certain colors. Like your chest is yellow, your back is red. It's just like certain things that falls into categories.
I always think of that as white meat and dark meat. I'm always like, is that a
it's like chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating. You know, I was watching the Eternity's Gate, which is about Van Gogh, and all he was ever thinking about is light, how to look at light, how light. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm so far away from being an artist. Well, it never dawns on me.
When I was in painting classes, sorry for everyone who was expecting jokes, now we're just talking about painting, but
I'm fine with it.
I studied alla prima method at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. So it's very intense painting classes, and a lot of that you start with color theory, and I essentially just skipped over color theory because my relationship with color was so strong that when I would mix color, I mean, within a week, we would have mixing colors tests and stuff like that. I could see something and I mixed the color immediately. My teachers were like, yeah, I think when I was a kid I was a bit of an artistic prodigy and no one recognized it because I was looking at a drawing of something I did when I was 3 versus now, and when I was 3 years old it was Maleficent. One, I'm still interested in drawing the same things, and two, I don't think I quite realized how good it was for a 3-year-old.
For a 3-year-old to be into it. So you can almost, when it comes to color mixing, you can look at a purple and know all the colors that go into making that purple.
Not just the colors that go into making the purple, but there's different types of purple. So like color theory is something where you're looking at something and you think it's blue, and then when you put it next to something that's actually blue and something that's yellow, you realize it's more green.
Yes.
So people look at something and they say, "Oh wow, that's a yellow wall," and you're like, "Well, it is yellow, but it's in the hue of green, and you should look at it next to these colors." And how it's all about putting things next to each other and seeing.
That's interesting because I struggle seeing the difference between blue and black.
So you have color. Are you colorblind?
I don't think so. Not technically colorblind because I don't do all the other things, but I can't tell whether something that's like a deep blue and a black are the difference. And I remember when I found out when I said that the Chicago Bears are black and orange, and everyone's like, they are not. They're
blue and orange.
Yeah, they're deep blue and orange. I go, look it up. And I'm pointing.
You have color. You're colorblind.
Yeah.
Well, it's just interesting because when you're painting, when you're painting traditionally, you're recommended to not use black. So we had a limited palette we painted with, and no painter uses the color black.
What?
Well, no painter in that type of method of painting. I can't speak for like contemporary paintings and stuff.
Do you have a favorite painter?
Yeah, I think my favorite painting is called Herself by Robert Henry.
Uh-huh.
And he's not the technically greatest painter. He's not like a Sorolla or a John Singer Sargent, but it's my favorite painting and influenced me more than anything. There it is, my favorite painting, just like an old Polish woman. But he was someone where he painted similarly in the alla prima method, which means direct painting. So like if something had texture to it, he painted with that texture or painted the surface treatment the way it sort of looked. But the reason I liked his paintings is because he seemed actually interested in the subject matter he was painting rather than like a Sargent, where Sargent was so pretty and everything was just so stiff. This actually felt like you're feeling this woman and you're sort of invited into different lives, and he was interested in painting all different types of people, from Native Americans to black people to different types. It just something that wasn't seen back then. Everyone just painted rich white women, so he was interested in painting everyone.
Let me see the John Singer Sargent.
Singer Sargent is just he's literally the best painter of all time, and there's no one better.
Beautiful colors.
He's I can't even get started on how good his I can't even talk about how good. I can't even look at it.
Yeah.
He's something else.
And the John Singer Sargents.
That's a study.
Yeah.
This is so interesting for everyone listening at home.
People need that.
I get so nervous.
That.
I feel like I got to come on and be funny.
First of all, I don't even know why you would even limit yourself, because you're a singer, you're a painter, you're a comedian. Comedians is just the only way we know you.
Sure.
You're known on all these other things. Actor, now going to be a writer of his own show. Oh my God, this never happens.
What happened?
Fez Whatley.
Fez is on the phone.
Hi, Matteo Lane, my Synesthesia sister.
Hi. Fez, we met like once years ago, the first time I came on the show.
That was it?
That was it. That's the only time we met.
That was the only time we crossed paths.
Now,
yeah.
Fez, did you know that that Matteo also had synesthesia?
I didn't know it at the time. I didn't. I'm just finding out about all of this.
So, how does your synesthesia work?
Now, I see numbers as colors. Like each number has a color,
Same.
1 through 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, when I look at a person, I see a number.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
And what number am I?
You're a 5.
And I've always been a 5.
Always been a 5. You're a true 5.
What am I?
Sometimes I'll look at someone, you're a 9.
Oh, interesing. Okay.
Out of 10? This is what actually what women would
you
judge
meant
us.
synesthesia ways.
Yeah. What is Vito?
Vito is a 3.
Yeah. Now, do you like 5s or 3s or 9s, or does that not matter to you?
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not a ranking, and it's not, rated on looks or anything. It just comes in that way. Although I know, 5s tend to be my favorite people. Mm-hmm. Like David Letterman is a 5.
Ooh.
We should compare our colors 1 through 9, what they are, or 0 through 9, what they are.
Now, do you have a color for 0, Fez?
No, I don't. 0 is just clear. I have no color for 0.
That makes sense. Do you see it like the way I see it, where when you're looking at a letter or a number, it has almost like its own separate environment that the color sits in?
Yeah, well, with me, it's like the number is surrounded by the color.
So you put a blue number.
It's not like I'm seeing the letter, 4, and the number 4 is in purple. I just see purple around the 4.
See, my 4 is yellow. That's so funny.
Well, you're wrong.
I know, yeah. See, we did. What color is number 2? Mine's red.
Brown, obviously.
Mine is a blue, like a blue into a light blue.
Now, I only see green with E and 3. That's it. And do you see green with anything?
Green is 6 to me.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
It's
No,
like
green is
pine green.
No, green is like brownish orange.
One of you is really wrong.
Isn't this
here.
crazy? It sounds crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Well, I know. I started mine when I was in kindergarten, and my friend Ernest Kim told me this is synesthesia.
Ernest Kim. I actually remember being 4 years old and telling my mom to play the Orange song, and I was referring to Streisand's "Don't Rain on My Parade," and I still see the same colors.
You will see the color of that song come out.
Yeah, and it comes in almost like waves. Like different parts of the songs are higher and lower, and some are brighter and some are darker and some are. So I always see like the same colors with that song. And it's funny because she's wearing an orange dress in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really, 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 really orange.
But you don't think that's why that happens, right? Because of that?
I know, I'm listening to it now and I'm seeing all the colors. The cloud is almost yellow. This is orangish yellow. The whole thing feels orange. The song I see the brightest is Cleo Lane's Don't Mean a Thing. That song is the brightest, and I tried to paint it once. It was impossible. It was impossible. It was that bright. It's just it's so complex. There's so many things happening.
Now, I have also heard composers will have this, and they will see, notes or whatever.
Cleo is Cleo, and then Lane is Laine.
You have to remember, he's very drunk.
Oh, that's right. It don't mean. There you go. Don't mean a thing. Yep. This song. Yeah. These instruments have warm tones to them. This is so. Yeah, I literally can see it. It's very strange. This is getting to brown. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. It's all reds and oranges and yellows. This is a little brown. Brown and her singing is white. White and yellow.
And does that just kind of swirl around the other colors?
The brass instruments are here. The music is here and the voice is here. But then her voice sounds so much like an instrument, it starts to blend. And then she changes instruments. This is orangish, brownish red.
Are the colors coming out of the horns?
No, it's just like... Oh, this changes everything. Yeah, this is like a white. I sound crazy.
No. I think it's just another way. This is just the way that you process things. Like, imagine if we had to explain smells to a world that doesn't smell things.
I'm definitely someone too who doesn't like to listen to loud music or like music that's really harsh, like electronic music or hip hop, metal, because it's too intrusive into my vision. So I like listen. Even now, talking to you, it's hard. I'm not truly present because right now this is happening in front of me. It's really strange.
Right, stop the colors for a second.
I know.
Stop bringing
it's so distracting. So distracting.
When you're in music, it's just music. You would be there just to have music completely. And you're not tied in with music at all, Fezzy?
I hate music.
He really doesn't like music.
Why?
I've been in his, we've been on car trips, and like he would be telling me something, so he would turn the music off. And then when I would turn it back on, he would, and he would turn the music off. I'm like, you're trying to keep the music off here. You're not telling me anything that needs the music done. But it's either talk, like sports talk, or just blank for him.
Well, I remember when I was a little girl, I used to love listening to talk radio with my mother. And there wasn't so much talking as it was screaming for help.
All right, wait. Laurie says she has it. So I just hit pause.
Hit hold.
Hit hold for him. And then he can still interact with us, or he can't.
He can't. No, he'll be on hold. Then you can pick, but he won't be dropped if you pick up the next
That's
call.
stupid. That's not the way I want that to work.
I know.
I want both lines. Laurie,
Yes.
what do you have here?
I have synesthesia with music, and it's not necessarily a color, but it's like sometimes the melodies become characters that I can literally like feel a storyline that the melody does. Like it just depends on the song and how it hits me.
Like a song has like a feeling, or like it'll invoke like personalities.
Personalities and like certain melodies, it's almost like they become like little. Like the most recent one I can think of, it became like a little stick figure, and the little stick figure would go and be. I could just see it doing things in the house and out in the street and things like that. That's just the feel I got.
It's the nuttiest one so far.
Well, some people have it where their numbers have characteristics, so and
Right.
texture to it. So like 5 is mean, but 7 is nice, and 6 is So but
Right.
mine's not that intense. I mean, mine's pretty intense, but it's not like it doesn't move past like a visual standpoint.
Mine doesn't really. Mine's always visual, but it's not always color. Sometimes I feel color with certain songs and certain things, or certain things I'll read, like words.
See,
But
my months
not
and days have
necessarily
colors
color.
too. Like my Fridays are orange, Wednesdays are like brownish red, Mondays are definitely like almost like a light blue, and then June is yellow. June, July, and August are all warm, and then May is red. April is yellow, and then October, November is orange too. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, where do you live in the country?
I live in New York.
So I live in the South, and so if I were to think about the months that way, like June, July, and August would all be just like fiery hot colors because it's so it's just so hot down here.
See, I do this with states. Like I see New York is a blue state, but then I see Alabama's a red state. Texas is a red state.
The Alabama's really green to me.
Yeah, it's past it.
I wish Alabama was green.
Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
And keep
Thanks.
trying more medications until this stops.
Oh, he's kidding. It's so funny. Yeah, synesthesia. It's a weird thing.
Now, Fez, is it weird for you to hear somebody who has, like, you both have synesthesia and yet zero in common?
Yeah, that's very strange. Like Lori's going to get us all put away
Yes.
if she keeps talking. I mean, she's just nutty.
Well, the reason,
and I'm a person who has it.
yeah, the reason that I started getting into reading about it is that every serial killer has synesthesia.
No.
Yeah. So they would say that, you'll be seeing these different type of things and everyone else, and then you just start to hear kill.
I don't hear voices.
You don't hear him yet.
Yet.
Kill.
Well, I don't like the fact that Kanye
That's
West
like
has
Ted Bundy's a
synesthesia.
9.
Yeah.
Now, he does.
Yeah, he claims to.
Yeah.
I don't know how Mozart has it, and then also Kanye West,
Yeah.
but
Earl loves them both, though. Earl's crazy about both of them.
Oh, Kanye, that fool? No.
not
Earl, what's
Kanye.
your favorite painting of all time?
Pollock. What's the one that
Really?
Abstract expressionism,
Yeah,
Jackson Pollock. Yeah.
like I'll
Surprising.
make it a point to go to MoMA just to see it. I go. That's the first place I go every time.
MoMA has that other painting of the girl that's kind of paralyzed and she's looking at the house. It's one of those
Oh my god, I could
Christina's World or something like that.
see it.
It's
That's not
Yeah, I think that's it.
is that a Hopper painting?
no,
Christina.
this is the guy from Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
It was like there was a father, son, and
The Holy Ghost.
but my favorite painting is the David Hockney paintings of the L.A. backyards.
Oh yeah.
Because there's something that just reminds me of being high.
He's great. They have a great piece of his, I think, at the Art Institute of Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
His paintings came around. So I've seen these in magazines my whole life, and just like last winter was the first time I stood in front of them. And I was always surprised, like when you see that, how physical they are, and how you can sit there and look at the imperfections.
Mm-hmm.
Because the magazine kind of takes out the imperfections, but when you're looking at them, you're like, oh, that's not perfect.
Right.
And yet here it is in a museum. Fucking mind blowing.
If you look up Lucian Freud, look up Lucian Freud portrait, and you'll see his is all. I mean, his paintings up close are so intense, and so like the first one. Just look at that. That's his self portrait, and he really paints. He's painting to the planes of the face. So like whatever way your cheek or skin moves, he paints that texture, but it's super intense. It's almost like a magnifying glass on the skin. They're very ugly paintings, like in a beautiful way.
You guys lost me when you said museum.
You don't like your museum, huh? None at all.
Never really been in one. We have a paint by numbers Lord's Supper that my aunt did.
That's
But
going to
other
drive
than
you
that-
crazy when the numbers don't line up with the colors that you say.
Oh, I know. St. Peter ends up with a purple face.
Well, he deserves it.
All right, hold on for a second, Fez. Here's Jim in Iowa. Go ahead, Jim.
Hi, Fez. It's wonderful to hear your voice. I love you, man. There's a crime writer named David Baldacci, has a series of detective books, and the main character, Decker is his name, has synesthesia, and it's woven in part of the plot line. It's what makes him such a good cop.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
See, I could be a great cop.
You could be. This is perfect for you with your spy.
If I
thing.
choose bad or good.
Good. Put synesthesia all through your spy deal.
I never even thought of that. I probably should.
Yeah.
I should put that in.
Yeah,
I mean,
a nice little character
Thanks,
trait.
guys.
bye. I mean, how
Bye-bye,
much?
thanks.
How much more annoying could I be? Just throwing that in there. Let me just confuse the American public.
Scott, you're on the air.
Hey, good afternoon. Fezzy, welcome back. I'm surprised no one's mentioned Norman Rockwell, that famous picture with the tattoo artist crossing the names out.
I like Norman Rockwell. They always considered him more of an illustrator than a painter. I don't quite follow that, but I really like his work.
When you go up to Western Massachusetts, all his work is there, and you can go into.
I was just there, Springfield.
Yeah, but you were there in the winter.
I don't think it matters for gays, but they were very nice. But I walked up on stage the first night. I was like, "Hi, I'm gay," and then 5 people just stood up and said, "Nope," and walked out.
Really?
Oh, I thought it was so funny. At least they were gone. But then some guy in the elevator was so nice. He was very like Southern, like you wouldn't expect him to, of course I would stereotype. And he goes, "I just want to say I'm sorry for all the phobias out there, and it's a shame." I was like, "Thank you, sir."
Can you imagine though? Somebody like, nope.
I kicked a woman out of my show in Vancouver, at my Streisand show. She got so drunk. She started screaming, and I was like, "You gotta leave." And then she goes, "Is it because I'm French?" And then this gay guy said the best thing is security was taking her out. This gay guy just goes, "And don't forget your scarf." I was like, that's so gay to be the bitchy thing, and also to be like, "Girl, I hate you, but like, that's cashmere. Take it."
Right. Now, Chris.
Starting this Thursday, Matteo's going to be at Comedy at the Carlson in Rochester, New York.
Really?
This Thursday through Saturday.
Please come, you guys.
Since Chris was drunk, I would hop in.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I've had a couple.
It really
Sure,
brings
Fez.
back some great memories.
If you're in Rochester, New York, come see me this weekend at the Carlson, the Comedy of the Carlson. Tell your friends, bring the gays.
Chris, don't use this as an excuse just to drink more.
I mean, I feel like I should just have one more. Right?
Chris, that's
not even 5 o'clock.
Oh my God. I'm literally like sipping coffee and he's downing Bushmill. What is Bushmill scotch? Mamma mia.
Now, Chris, you got the hair up in a bun again?
Yeah, I got yeah.
Let's take a look at it. I didn't even know what you were doing.
Should I take it down?
No. Turn around.
No, we
Let's
like
see
it up.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little pirate guy.
Yeah.
You're a very Bradley Cooper in Star is Born,
thank
just like
you.
Grease.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody believe that he and Gaga are a couple?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. And yet everyone is talking about it. I'm like, they're performing a piece together of two people in love.
Do you think Glenn Close murdered someone when she didn't win the Oscar?
I felt so bad for her. She's done the show like 4 or 5 times. Very, very sweet person.
Guess who I don't feel bad for?
Who?
Glenn Close.
Really?
She's an icon. The gays love her. She's a millionaire. She's had such a fun career. She looks fabulous. Who gives a shit about the Oscars?
Glenn Close.
Yeah, that's true. And, but I do think she was like, while she was walking that red carpet, she's like, I will cease all murders until the end of this night.
Right.
I mean, she just has that look in her face.
Now, you know who they said was the nicest person at the Oscars is the
Liza. It was me.
Wouldn't that be great if she was just back?
I'm here to present the award for
Did you
best.
enjoy the Oscars?
I didn't watch them. I was just following on Twitter. I was following my friend Pat Powers. If anyone wants to follow him on Twitter, he's so funny.
Great.
He's a picture of Angela Lansbury as a profile picture. But I was at my friend Bob the Drag Queen and Monet Exchange's show at the Bell House, hanging out with the gays.
And these are the gays that don't watch the Oscars.
Yeah, there was about 400 gays not watching the Oscars that night.
We're really, let you know, film is in trouble.
I know. Well, it was a fun drag show, and it's Brooklyn, so it's like, who cares about the Oscars? I have a bird cage, so it just works out better that way.
Bez, did you watch the Oscars?
I watched the Oscars, and I didn't have, and I was just wondering why Rami Malek was still wearing the teeth.
Oh, that's not true. But
weren't they arguing over Siri or Alexa hosting the Oscars?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus fucking Christ!
You were mad about the Rami Malek, Bez?
I didn't care for the movie. There was nothing to cheer for.
Wait, was that what was the movie called?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't even see it yet.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, I see. You went in a whole different direction. This would have been your Oscar role.
I could have done it. Remember I sang Queen at your fucking show?
And it was amazing. And you can act, and you've got the natural mustache. You're not going to put a fake mustache across your
I'm
face.
just not famous. If I was famous, I would have had a fighting chance.
I didn't think he was that famous. What was he, Mr. Robot?
Yeah, one show. Yeah,
He was in Mr. Robot Night at the Museum.
Okay, well, that's better than Guy Code, all right?
Don't say that.
I mean, come on. Mr. Robot and Night at the Museum, and I'm on Girl Code being like, you know what the worst part about dating is? Like, very different teams around us.
It is true. And yet he didn't do a lot before Mr. Robot, right?
No.
Yeah, nothing.
It was
before
just Night at the Museum and then
Yeah.
Mr. Robot. And
I hate to also say it. He seems special needs.
Well, the eyes are on the side of the head, but
right,
I
like
mean,
a flounder.
he seems fine. Look, he was in a position where he was fucked anyways. You know what I mean? The Bryan Singer's all of a sudden the director. He's got to play this huge role. He didn't write the fucking movie. And look, good for him for taking that role. I mean, someone's got to pay their bills. You want to play Freddie Mercury? You say yes.
You know who was going to do that and turned it down because they didn't feel like they were truthful?
Was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah. And he goes, this is shit. You've taken all the good stuff out. And when I watched it, I was going, this is, he was a more complex character than what you're I mean, the guy didn't know what Live Aid was.
He didn't know what Live Aid
He
was?
was like, what do you mean Live Aid?
Are you joking?
No. And it was so embarrassing because in the 80s, everybody talked about this for months out.
Right.
They had done the Christmas thing the year before, and everybody was talking about it. And he was like, what? Live Aid? What's that? And they go, we're helping the people in Africa. And he goes, what's Africa? And they're at a certain point. So it really annoyed me. And then this is the other thing that annoyed me. Any gay friend that he had, the band act that was ruining him, and these people are using you. And I'm watching the fucking movie. I go, you're using Freddie Mercury too. You guys wouldn't be fucking stars without Freddie Mercury.
Let me just say this. Every time there's a gay anything, it's made for straight people.
Right.
They have to start. The reason RuPaul's Drag Race works is because it's made for and by gay people who don't give a shit about straight people. We're using our lingo. We're doing everything on our own terms. So that's why it works, because we're like, yeah, if you want to get in and understand, good for you. If you don't, go away. We don't need you. Yeah. Everything else it's always gay movies, gay this, gay that. It's always in the perspective for not everything, but generally speaking, like it's so straight people can understand.
Right. It's really
I might
weird.
just be generally. I'm just speaking out of my ass.
No,
right
but
now.
at the end of the movie, they become comfortable because he has a quiet gay who's holding a baby and is going to be with him. So it's almost like, oh, look, he's living his own version
Domestic.
of a gay, of a like a gay marriage that we can understand.
Does that
You have a
happen?
wife.
Did that happen in real life?
I don't know. Most of these things did not. Like the fact that he didn't. Not only did he fucking know what it was, but that band wasn't put back together to do Live Aid. They'd come off a fucking huge tour.
Right.
And he didn't have AIDS before.
Right.
And then he
Well,
literally.
did you
doesn't-
notice that in the movie, everything happened to Freddie Mercury on one day? He got
Yes.
diagnosed. He got told about Live Aid. He went and reunited with the band. They rehearsed. He got together with his soulmate. His soulmate met his family, and then he goes, "Well, we better get to the show." And I'm like, "What a day he's
Yeah, it
having!"
was a crazy day.
Sounds like an after-school special.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean,
It was a
Everything
way.
happened within 24 hours.
Now the funny thing is, Elton John has one of these coming out, and it
God.
almost looks like a shot for shot fucking Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's the same director who replaced Bryan Singer.
What is Bryan Singer ruined the X-Men and a bunch of young men's lives. I mean, that's more important. But it's like, he's such a piece of shit. He ruined Storm. He ruined the X-Men. He's ruining Freddie Mercury. Stop making movies and go to jail.
Do you know how much money he got for this, even though they fired him?
How much?
$40 million.
For
$40
Well, he's got to hire a good
million
defense team.
Oh, I say he walks no matter what happens.
Ugh.
I just am always under the impression most people that are rich are going to walk.
Yeah.
It's been like, what, 20? He's been getting allegations for like years now, like 10 years probably at least.
I heard the first time in Studio 54.
Oh, dude.
I was playing a wet nurse. I remember Michael Jackson was there. We had a lot of fun.
Oh, that documentary's coming out soon. The Michael Jackson one.
Finding Neverland.
Listen, I always said I like Janet Jackson better. I've been standing on that one since day one. I love Janet.
Matteo Lane is performing this Thursday through Sunday at the Carlson in Rochester, New York.
So come!
And March 22nd and 23rd at Lincoln Lodge in Chicago.
Chicago!
Back home.
You got to actually buy tickets to the Chicago one because my mom texted me saying 33 members of my family are coming.
Wow.
I'm like, Ma, what are you doing? Well, I thought you want to know. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want to know that Grandma and Pops and Aunt Nikki and Aunt Lisa and Aunt Cindy and Uncle Mike and my cousin and my sister and Megan and Wally and Mike. I mean, it's like, I can't really and then they're all going to sit in the front row and beg me to talk about them.
Yes, that's what everyone always wants to do.
It's just insane. My Uncle Mike's always like, Mateo, you got more jokes about your old Uncle Mike? I'm like, no, you're not that interesting.
That is so great.
His whole life, he's
Watch this one. I'll put it in his act.
Yeah. He's obsessed with Buicks, my Uncle Mike. He just salivates over the fact that there's a Buick for sale. And we were all in high school. All we had, like when we got a car, we all had to share Buicks. And and then he would get them in the driveway, right? There's like 7 Buicks. And so he's like parking them in the driveway, playing Tetris with cars, and then stares and watches how good of a parking job he did and begs us to look at it. I'm going to tell you see that job out there? What? I parked all them cars. I'm like, all right.